Ever felt a fiery sensation rising in your chest after a big meal? That's acid reflux. It's a feeling that can catch you off guard, sometimes just minutes after you finish eating, or even when you're lying down to rest. For some it's a rare annoyance, but for others, it's a daily struggle that can really impact quality of life. It's incredibly common. Millions experience it daily. In fact, studies show that up to 20% of adults in Western countries deal with acid reflux symptoms at least once a week. It doesn't matter if you're young or old, busy or relaxed, acid reflux can affect anyone, anywhere. Despite the name heartburn, it's not your heart that's on fire. The burning sensation is actually happening in your esophagus, the tube that carries food from your mouth to your stomach. The pain can sometimes be so intense that people mistake it for a heart problem, but it's all about digestion. It's your digestive system, specifically when stomach acid travels the wrong way. Normally your stomach is designed to handle this powerful acid, but your esophagus isn't. When acid sneaks up, it irritates the sensitive lining, causing that burning discomfort. Your stomach uses powerful acid to break down food, but this acid is meant to stay put. Think of your stomach as a tough, well-built container, perfectly suited to handle harsh chemicals. But if those chemicals escape, trouble starts. Acid reflux happens when this acid escapes into the esophagus, a tube not built to handle it. The esophagus is lined with delicate tissue, and even a small amount of acid can cause pain, inflammation, and sometimes even long-term damage if it happens often. The esophagus is like a food highway, and acid reflux is a traffic jam with cars going the wrong way. Imagine a busy road where suddenly, vehicles start reversing and causing chaos. That's what happens when acid flows backward. The stomach and esophagus are separated by a valve which sometimes leaks. This valve, called the lower esophageal sphincter, is supposed to act like a security guard, letting food in but keeping acid out. But sometimes, it relaxes at the wrong time or doesn't close tightly enough. When the valve isn't tight, stomach contents splash up, irritating the delicate esophagus lining. That's the burning feeling, heartburn. Over time, repeated exposure can lead to more serious issues like inflammation or even ulcers in the esophagus. It's a simple case of the wrong chemical in the wrong place. Just like a chemical spill in a lab, stomach acid in the esophagus is a recipe for irritation and discomfort. Understanding this process is the first step to managing it. When you know what's happening inside your body, you can start to make choices that help prevent or reduce symptoms. It's not mysterious, it's basic biology and chemistry. The more you learn, the more empowered you become to take control of your health. By learning about the esophagus, stomach, and the valve between them, we can figure out why things go wrong. You'll discover what triggers acid reflux, why some foods or habits make it worse, and what you can do to help your body function smoothly. Think of yourself as a detective for your own body. Every symptom is a clue, and every meal or activity is a piece of the puzzle. By paying attention, you can start to notice patterns and make changes that really help. We'll examine the evidence and uncover the science behind that fiery feeling. From the foods you eat to the way you sleep, every detail matters in understanding acid reflux. So, get ready for a journey down your digestive tract. We'll explore how your body works, what can go wrong, and how you can help keep things running smoothly. Science is cool, and it's happening inside you. Let's dive in and discover the fascinating world of acid reflux together. The esophagus is the muscular tube that plays a crucial role in your digestive system, yet it often goes unnoticed, until something goes wrong. Think of it as a hidden highway, quietly working behind the scenes every time you eat or drink. It connects your throat or pharynx to your stomach, forming a vital link between the mouth and the rest of your digestive tract. Without it, food and liquids would have nowhere to go after you swallow. When you swallow, the esophagus doesn't just let food drop straight down. Instead, it uses a coordinated wave-like motion called peristalsis to gently squeeze and push each bite or sip along its length. This process is so smooth and automatic, you rarely notice it happening. This food chute is about 10 inches long in adults, and it's lined with a special smooth tissue that helps food and drink glide easily toward your stomach. The lining also protects the esophagus from minor scrapes and irritation as food passes through. But here's the catch. The esophagus isn't built to handle the harsh, corrosive acid found in your stomach. Its tissue is delicate compared to the tough lining of your stomach. Imagine a water slide, perfect for water but not for harsh chemicals. If you poured acid down a water slide, it would quickly cause damage. The same goes for your esophagus. When stomach acid splashes up into the esophagus, it irritates and inflames the sensitive lining, leading to that familiar burning sensation known as heartburn. Despite these challenges, the esophagus works tirelessly, moving every bite and sip downward, meal after meal, day after day. It's a hardworking part of your body that rarely gets the credit it deserves. At both the top and bottom of the esophagus are sphincters, strong muscular rings that act like doors, opening to let food in and closing to keep stomach contents from coming back up. The lower esophageal sphincter, located where the esophagus meets the stomach, is especially important. It's the real star when it comes to acid reflux, acting as a barrier to keep stomach acid where it belongs. The esophagus is designed for one-way travel only. Food and drink should move down, never up. When this system works well, you barely notice it. But if acid escapes past the lower sphincter, the sensitive lining of the esophagus is the first to suffer, leading to pain and discomfort. Next, let's meet the security guard at the door to your stomach, the lower esophageal sphincter. This muscular ring is your body's last line of defense against acid reflux. This is where acid reflux really begins, right at the gateway between the esophagus and the stomach. If the gate doesn't close tightly, acid can sneak back up. Ready to see how this gate works and what happens when it fails? Let's go deeper and find out. Deep inside your chest at the very bottom of your esophagus lies a small but mighty muscle called the lower esophageal sphincter, or LES for short. This ring of muscle is a crucial gatekeeper between your esophagus and your stomach, quietly working behind the scenes every time you eat or drink. Think of the LES as a high-tech security door. When you swallow, it opens just long enough to let food and liquid pass through into your stomach. Then, like a vigilant guard, it snaps shut, forming a tight seal to keep the harsh stomach acid where it belongs, safely inside your stomach. When this muscular door is working perfectly, nothing escapes back up. It's a one-way passage, designed to protect your esophagus from the powerful acids below. But sometimes the LES doesn't do its job. If it's weak, damaged, or relaxes at the wrong moment, stomach acid can sneak back up into the esophagus. This backflow is what we call acid reflux. Imagine a door left slightly open during a raging storm. Wind and rain force their way inside just like stomach acid can push past a weak LES and irritate your esophagus. The pressure inside your stomach, especially after a big meal or when you bend over, can force acid through even the smallest gap. That's when you feel that familiar burning sensation, heartburn. Many things can weaken the LES. Eating spicy or fatty foods, being overweight, pregnancy, wearing tight clothes, or even smoking. All of these factors make it easier for acid to escape. That's why doctors often recommend lifestyle changes, like losing weight, eating smaller meals, and avoiding certain foods, to help strengthen the LES and reduce reflux. The ultimate goal is to keep that muscular door firmly shut, protecting your esophagus from acid's damaging effects. But when the LES fails, acid reflux strikes, causing discomfort, pain, and sometimes even waking you up at night. So what exactly is this acid that's causing so much trouble? Let's take a closer look at what's brewing inside your stomach. The story of stomach acid, and how it affects your body, is just beginning. The stomach is a churning mixer, and its secret weapon is gastric acid. This acid is strong, its pH rivals battery acid, but your stomach is protected by a thick mucus layer, shielding it from harm. The acid's job is to break down food and kill germs. It activates enzymes to digest proteins and sterilizes your meal. The problem isn't the acid, it's when it escapes. The esophagus lacks the stomach's protective mucus. When acid splashes up, it burns the sensitive lining. That's heartburn, a chemical burn in the wrong place. Stomach acid is a hero in the right spot, a villain when it escapes. The key is keeping it contained. Next, let's see how reflux actually happens. It's all about pressure and timing. Here's how it all comes together. The esophagus delivers food, the stomach mixes it, and the LES keeps things separate. Acid reflux starts when the LES fails, like a dam with a leak. Pressure in the stomach from large meals or lying down pushes acid upward. Overeating, pregnancy, or extra weight increase this pressure. With the valve open, acid splashes into the esophagus. The result: irritation, burning, and sometimes long-term damage. For some it's occasional, for others it's chronic GERD. Repeated exposure wears down the esophagus like bleach on fabric. That's why managing reflux matters. It's a simple physics problem with real health consequences. Next, let's identify what triggers these episodes. Knowledge is power. What causes the LES to relax and the stomach to overact? Triggers. High-fat foods, spicy dishes, citrus, chocolate, peppermint, and onions are common culprits. Large meals and eating too quickly overwhelm your stomach and LES. Lying down soon after eating removes gravity's help. Smoking, being overweight, and tight clothing all increase pressure or weaken the LES. Even stress can play a role. Identifying your personal triggers is key. Keep a food diary to spot patterns. Avoid or limit known offenders. Small changes can make a big difference. Next, let's talk about the symptoms you shouldn't ignore. Your body sends clear signals. Heartburn is the classic symptom, a burning pain in your chest, often after eating or lying down. Regurgitation brings a sour or bitter taste to your mouth. Acid can irritate your throat, causing cough, hoarseness, or a lump in the throat sensation. Some experience difficulty swallowing or chest pain. If you have chest pain, always seek medical attention to rule out heart issues. Persistent symptoms mean your esophagus is under attack. Listen to your body's alarms. Early action prevents long-term damage. Next, let's look at simple steps for relief. You have more control than you think. Let's take action. Managing acid reflux often starts with simple lifestyle changes. Eat smaller, more frequent meals to reduce stomach pressure. Identify and avoid your trigger foods. Don't eat within 2 to 3 hours of bedtime. Elevate the head of your bed to use gravity to your advantage. Wear loose clothing and avoid tight belts. Quit smoking and aim for a healthy weight. Manage stress with relaxation techniques. For occasional heartburn, antacids can help neutralize acid. H2 blockers and proton pump inhibitors reduce acid production. Ask your doctor before using them regularly. Keep a food diary to track what works for you. Consistency is key for lasting relief. If symptoms persist, consult a healthcare professional. Small changes add up to big improvements. You can take charge of your digestive health. We've explored the science of acid reflux, from the esophagus to the stomach and the LES. It's a mechanical issue, not a mystery. Understanding the process empowers you to make changes. You can support your digestive system with smart choices. Eat smaller meals, avoid triggers, and use gravity to your advantage. These are science-based strategies, not random tips. Listen to your body's signals and act early. A few adjustments can cool the flames and protect your gut. Science gives you the tools for a healthier, happier life. Next time you eat, remember, you're in control. Digest wisely.